Hey everybody, it's the Coach. Welcome to this special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the comeback player of the year, Andrew Luck, and the Indianapolis Colts as they match up with the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Colts offense heading out for the first time, and they've been involved in one of the biggest sagas in the NFL these last few months, and that's because of the health of Andrew Luck, Charles. A left calf strain, that was back in April, and it's just lingered and lingered, caused him to miss OTAs, just about all of training camp thus far. Even the name Kevin Durant has been thrown out comparing the injury.
Because of what happened with Kevin Durant with a calf injury, came back and tried to play, and it turned into an Achilles tendon tear, which is probably going to cause him to miss all of the next NBA season. So you know the Colts are going to err on the side of caution, but now we're talking about it being a bone issue. So many things going on, but what a brilliant 2018 for Andrew Luck, and what was a comeback season for him. 39 touchdown passes. A lot of people think the Colts are the favorite in their division, but not without Andrew Luck.
Yeah, for Colt fans, this is becoming a reoccurring nightmare. Luck, he's missed 26 games due to injury since the start of 2015. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Luck. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Luck. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, passed Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
This Bengal offense heading out. Zach Taylor's first camp as the head coach got off to a difficult start. A star receiver, A.J. Green, injured during an event at the University of Dayton. Later underwent what they called minor ankle surgery, if there is such a thing. But 6 to 8 weeks, that's the initial diagnosis. They're hoping that it's just going to be a couple of games. We'll see. But he almost certainly will not be ready to go, Charles, when the season gets started September 8th.
And you know what minor ankle surgery is.
It's ankle surgery.
That's surgery on you, not on A.J. Green. So that's going to be a problem for them as Zach Taylor tries to get things moving. Andy Dalton at quarterback loses his safety blanket, right? A.J. Green was his guy. Let's see how the Bengals handle that as they head into the season.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Passing, it's Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 16 yards, a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton over the middle. That's caught by Ross. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Dalton here from the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Bullock's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
They had one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and that'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now this throw caught left side, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 44 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 43-yard line.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd and 9, Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Joe Mixon. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Here's Kevin Huber now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Luck. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Luck on 1st down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Luck. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the Colts, 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a first down throw. Luck. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Completion, Naheem Hines. A gain of 5 brings up second and
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Looking to throw again on second down. Luck. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
brings up second and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 7-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Makes the score Bengals 10.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Bengals drive about to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Man left, man left. 4 down, check.
Andy Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 46-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Dalton. Over the middle, complete. That's Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Again, it's Mixon. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
I smell fear in that offense.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
That's what I do. 25, check 25, check 25.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Kid had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Strong right, strong right.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts' 34-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Hands up. Hands up.
They'll run here with Mixon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down throw coming for Dalton. This will be caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Hands up. Ladies. Mike 50. Hands up. You got nothing. Hands up.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Dalton sets up play action. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But now it's 3rd and goal. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The sack by Marcus Hunt. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 36 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run with Hines. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Locke. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Out of the gun, Locke. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Andrew Luck, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago when he was comeback player of the year, and he needs another one right now if he wants a Colts victory. Luck's throw caught by Rodgers, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Luck now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Luck. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Luck. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Vinatieri's kick is good, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple of extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Just like that.
So Dalton now. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time, was able to make the play defensively. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Luck now to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They get the all-pro guard there, Quentin Nelson.
Still 2nd down.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Luck. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Now Luck says let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. Back to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Check it back, check it back.
Now it's Luck. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Luck. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. Back to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Luck now to throw. And it's caught. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This one taken from the 7. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he fights through one man. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And Dalton to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. A draw play. Bernard. Margus Hunt able to take him down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So now Randy Bullock with an important field goal try here. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First throw in overtime for Luck. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice gain.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Luck. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
From the red zone now, Luck. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. T.Y. Hilton once again, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Luck. This will be caught just inside the 10. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his...
And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see, and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.